Oil change. Oil change near me. How important is an oil change? Should I get my oil changed? When should I get my oil changed? What's going on with an oil change? Lube oil and filter. Um, the other day, one of my daughters had a friend over and we're all talking and it's like, well, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, well, I market for the automotive industry and I've been in the automotive industry pretty much my entire adult life. So, wow, like 47 years, something like that. And, talking about, maintaining, the vehicles and how important it is. And she's like, well, I don't change the oil in my truck. And I'm like, you don't change the oil in your truck? No, it's too expensive. And I'm like, okay, so how much is an oil change for your truck on a normal basis? Well, it's $85 to $100. And I'm like, I get that the 995 and 1995 oil change days are long, 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 long past us. At the same time, an engine costs so much money, it's not even funny. And, and she drives. I know she drives a lot, actually. And so does an oil change cost more or does an engine cost more? Or does a bunch of oil changes add up to the price of the engine? How long should an engine last if you change the oil properly? How long should the transmission last if you change the transmission fluid properly? How long should the brake system and the anti-lock brake system last if you change the brake fluid, when you're supposed to? A lot of electrical power steering now, but there's still power steering pumps out there, and it doesn't even have a filter in it. Coolant, how long should coolant last? It doesn't have a filter either. How long should your fuel injectors be able to fire perfect circle mists? And right now with GDI, it's literally dumping the injectors are in the actual cylinders with where the combustion is, and they just carbon up like there's no tomorrow. Um, if and I would say if you're not going to maintain the rest of your vehicle, don't change your oil either. But I mean, it's just a catastrophe waiting to happen. So the automotive repair shop that you're doing business with should have a plan on how to maintain your vehicle and how get you on a schedule as far as your wearables, your brakes and your tires and your belts and stuff like that. And then of course you need to be doing it by time and mileage before it's totally bad. So before it's bad, it's called preventative maintenance, right? Not just maintenance, but preventative maintenance. So if you're going to prevent something, that means you're still replacing the stuff while it's still good so that it stays good. Okay. Um, what's the plan if you don't change your oil? What is the plan if you don't change your oil? So your car is going to, or you don't maintain the rest of it, your car is going to destroy itself sooner than later. It's going to, it's going to, you're going to have to replace it with a newer used one. So she said that she can't afford an oil change. I'm like, okay, can't afford an oil change. So what's your plan? Well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it's going to have premature problems. It's going to become not worth it to fix it if you're not going to maintain the entire truck, not just change the oil. I mean, that's one of the basics. But I mean, you have to replace shocks, struts, flushes, filters, belts, hoses, timing belt, spark plug, balance line, battery services on a regular basis, tires when they wear out, brakes when they wear out. You know, you just have to. I mean, you just have to replace all of this stuff on an ongoing basis. Okay. And an oil change being however much money it is, it's definitely one of the most important things, that there is, along with everything else. And if you're not going to do it and you're going to have a premature death on your vehicle, you can't afford to maintain this vehicle. What makes you think you're going to be able to afford a new or used vehicle? If you're going to go out and buy a cheap used vehicle, then it's not going to last you very long if you don't maintain it. And if you're going to go buy one that's 5 years or newer, I mean, the cost is so extreme, it's not even funny. The average cost of a new car payment right now is 750, and a used car is 550. That doesn't include maintenance. That doesn't include repairs. That doesn't include. That's just the payment on the vehicle. It doesn't include depreciation. Does not include taxes, registration, licensing. I mean, the added insurance cost, the finance charges. It's like, come on, man. That's a ton of money. You can't afford to maintain this one, but what makes you think you're going to be able to afford a different one when this one is dies prematurely? And think about the inconvenience, and think about you not having the money at that point to replace it. So now you pulled into an automobile repair store. They're literally telling you that it's not worth it to fix it. So what's your plan? I mean, you have to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to get a plan. You're not going to like the plan, but you're going to get a plan. Um, so oil change near me, lube oil and filter. How often should it get done? You know, again, by time and mileage. I'm recommending oil changes at 5,000 miles. Pretty much almost no matter what car you drive. I don't care if the dealer or manufacturer says 10,000. They're not interested in your engine lasting very long. And almost everywhere we drive is an extreme condition. Almost everything you do is an extreme condition. Very, very rarely do we drive when it's just the right temperature and there's no traffic and we get to drive uninterrupted. So if you don't take care of your vehicle, then your vehicle is not going to take care of you. And